Hello, everybody. Today we're brought to you by Yokkao.
Yokkao is one of the best Muay Thai equipment and apparel brands in the world. And you can get 10% discount by using our code CombatCasuals10. That's CombatCasuals10.
And we're also brought to you by Powerbody.
Powerbody is one of the best sports supplement wholesalers and retailers in the UK. And again, you can use our code on the retail site, CombatCasuals10. CombatCasuals10.
Should we start the podcast now? Should we do that?
Yeah, let's do it. That's enough of that. Hello and welcome to the Combat Casuals podcast.
If you're a fan of mixed martial arts and all things related, stick around.
We'll be talking everything from past and future events
to harnessing your inner chi and everything in between.
We want to provide you with the opportunity to get involved in the ultimate fighting conversation.
We've been friends for too long now,
and we always have strange conversations.
So we thought, hey, why not make a podcast?
I'm Dustin.
I'm Ian.
And we're the Combat Casuals.
Yeah.
It's frozen. Oh no, there we go. It took a little while to start up there.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good time to start. We get all the depressing family stuff out of the way, and then when we're both nice and depressed, let's start the podcast.
Yeah. It's this is production stuff again, guys. But your line is so far behind mine. Oh no, we're good because it's now gone like quiet on your side.
I've never understood why it does that. Mine moves faster than yours moves when I'm recording, so I can't really tell. It looks like it's out of sync. Like I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, I am too.
My bars. I don't know the technical term. The little wavy sound lines. Yeah. Mine are moving a lot faster than yours are.
But now we're in sync again on my side. That's weird. That was really strange.
On mine's always faster.
Oh, wow. This is a look behind the curtain for everybody again.
Yeah. You're seeing how the sausage gets made.
Yeah. How competent we are at making podcasts.
Not at all.
Oh man, yeah.
Sorry, Zencastr, but I wouldn't recommend Zencastr to anyone.
Yeah, it's it's not the easiest one, is it? I mean, to be fair though, it's better than when we first started, when we were in cupboards and on. Do you remember that one? What was it? It was like an MP3 one or something, and we were recording it.
Oh,
and we were recording
that was the worst.
What was that? That was.
So, I can't remember the name of the website, but our very first episode. Anyone who listened to that, I mean, if you want to go back, you might notice a little bit that the timing's off because we recorded the whole episode individually. Like we were speaking on the phone, and I recorded the audio for mine, and Ian recorded the audio for his, and he sent it to me. And I just thought, easy, I'll just layer one over the top of the other because like time is constant, right? No, not according to this website. So I put them together and then scrolled ahead like 15 minutes. And we're just talking nonsense like over the top of each other. Like the conversation's gone. Oh, it took me. How long did it take me? In like a couple of days, didn't it?
Days. It did take you days.
I had to go through the whole episode listening, and every time it sounded like it was a little bit out of sync, I had to like cut one of us and drag it. And that episode was like 2.5 hours long or something. I don't know. That might be a lie, but I'm sure it was quite long.
Oh, mate. Even though Zencastr is a bit of a pain in the ass, it's better than that. Like, it's so much better than that.
It is.
Oh,
but a lie. The first episode was 1.5 hours, but that's plenty. That's plenty long to be cutting and chopping it about.
Too much, man. Too much. But Happy New Year. We're back.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, we're here in 2022.
Don't do that shit. I hate that shit. We're all here in 2022, and we don't know when people are listening. I hate all of that, mate. I have to say, I even hate Happy New Year. Don't say Happy New Year to me.
How come? Why do you hate Happy New Year?
I just think it's nonsense, mate, because I like goal setting and planning, but if you've got a goal, just do it. Just map it out and do it. Why do you need to wait for January or Monday or the start of the month?
Agree with you, man.
Just do it when you got to do it.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm sure I'm not alone here, but then I'm sure a lot of people will also hate me for saying this, but I don't care. Fuck you. I hate...
We know how much we just swear at our audience. Yeah. Fuck you guys. Fuck.
I hate January gym goers.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Right. If genuinely, if you do start in January and you keep it up, fair play and you're welcome in the gym. But I know you won't because you started in January. Because you started in January, I know it won't last because that's the type of person you are. You have to wait until a big event to get things done.
Yeah.
You might lose weight for your holiday, but then you're straight back on track. Or you might, start your new diet on Monday, but it's finished by Thursday. So don't come to my gym. Thank you, please. Thank you.
It's a weird. I do agree because I've been doing work with Lorenzo now. I do stuff for Wave, and
Mm.
we were talking about advertising, and both of us really. And you do see gyms do it because they know it will make them initial money at the beginning of the month. But we fucking hate those adverts which are like, "Start your January right, start your
Yeah,
year," etc. And it's so cliched
it
that
is.
both of us were just like, I just don't want any advertising like that. Just nothing like that. We're not even changing our special like membership
Yeah,
started. Same beginner offer that we had last month to the month before that and the month before that. We're not doing a different one just because it's January because it
yeah,
doesn't matter. It's the same as if you were joining
yeah.
us in December. Nothing's different. And we're
The
not going to
thing
do different offers because it's January. It's silly.
Exactly. So what I was saying was about like the gym, like the
Yeah.
gym that I train at. As for like martial arts, obviously it is trickier. Obviously, I love it when loads of new people come. It's
Yep.
good money for me. It's nice to see new faces. But the thing that is really frustrating
Mm-hmm.
is when you invest time into someone, like
Yeah.
they seem to show a genuine interest for MMA or jiu-jitsu or whatever it is. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'll invest time into you and give you advice, and hopefully you're going to keep coming and get better. And then they stop showing up, and you're like, oh, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake, I actually put a lot of I've invested. I know you paid me to invest that time, but just on a personal note, it's frustrating and it's sad to see when you put a
Mm-hmm.
lot of effort into somebody and then they don't
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
use it. Do you see what
I
I'm
know
saying?
completely. Yeah.
Especially if they had potential. I'll have guys who I'll be like, "Oh, he could be really good if as
Mm-hmm.
long as he keeps coming," and then, "Oh, he's gone. Oh
Yeah.
shit."
Yeah,
That
no,
was
I
a shame.
completely get that, man. Because with you see them all the time with Pure Gyms and like what other big gym memberships are there? With you can tell I go to the gym a lot. I train at home rather than paying for
Yeah,
gym memberships. But you see it all the time with big gyms where they put lots and lots of adverts out, like "Come join now for this." Like the gym group as well. They're a big one that do that. Like January,
yeah.
start your January right.
They're massive now.
They're huge. It's huge.
Yeah. Out of
Um,
nowhere, there's one round the corner from our gym that's to be fair, it hasn't stopped. The clientele for the gym I go to and that one are very different. The one I'm
yes.
at is like really it's quite a I don't know how to explain it. It's a proper bodybuilding gym. It's a
Yeah.
little bit more expensive. Everyone who
Yeah.
goes there is serious about what they're doing. And then obviously Gym Group is just a casual, like pure gym exercise for less type place. So,
Exactly, and that's what you can tell the difference in their marketing because of the way
yeah,
they pose that. You have marketing which is like new year, new start, new you sort of stuff,
yeah.
and they know the casual audience
It's
will
not a
go
new
in for that.
you. It's the same old shit you.
And that's
You're
why
shit. You'll still be shit and you wouldn't.
that's why when you have like with a martial arts gym, and I completely get what you mean, like whatever martial arts it is, when you have somebody come in, it's not the same as a casual gym because it is more one-on-one session. Even if it's a class, you're still spending time with somebody who's come in for that. And it is good, as you say, when you get people interested. But what you want to get more is people retaining that interest rather than just going. And that's why
Yeah,
it's just like, not that I'm slagging off any other martial arts gym that does this, but I just don't think going new year, new you, new start is the kind of thing for martial arts because it doesn't make like I just say it's stupid. It's a stupid attitude for casual people who are like, yeah, January is going to be my time to do it, and it's like, well, why wasn't it December? Why wasn't it?
yeah,
But it is hard. Like I was going to say to you, we were talking very briefly beforehand, but I found it hard to get back into training from the competition because I stopped training since that competition in November, but that wasn't because of choice of me being like, oh, I'm going to take time off. I had to have like very minor surgery on my chest, nothing serious, but
I didn't know that.
mate, yeah. I completely I forget to tell people shit. Like I
Yeah.
told people at the gym, and they were like, "What? Like what is that? Why you've been away?" But yeah, I had to like a small biopsy on my chest, which they had to stitch up, and. Still waiting results. Don't worry, listeners. It's all fine. It's nothing like serious. It's just they need to take.
However, still waiting for results. Ian just guessed. Ian just put on his doctor hat and said, "I reckon, yeah, be all right.
Yeah, beery. No,
You'll be fine.
it'd be
Problem
fine. No,
maybe something.
genuinely, it's interesting. It's basically for this is just divulging my medical history to
You
everyone.
don't have to, you can do.
No, but it honestly, it's actually really weird. It's like some red marks that appeared on my chest that they think is like it's really weird when you explain it, but it's like when your white blood cells are overexpanded because of too much oxygen. And that is sometimes how birthmarks are created in the womb. But it's happened for me now which some of my friends are like, he's the chosen one because I've got this mark that's appeared on my chest randomly.
Oh.
But it is completely nothing to be concerned about. They just want to be like, it's definitely that, rather than it looks like that, so we're going to call it that.
Sure.
But because they did that, I couldn't train for like a month and a bit because,
That's rubbish.
well, yeah, it was stitched up, and then if I ran, it would cause like sweat on the stitches, and then it was quite
just don't
sore
run.
as well. Just don't run. But then you can do
Mm.
jujitsu
Why would
because
you
it was
run?
really sore.
Oh, that
So-
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been out for about a month, and starting back is like not for jujitsu. Training with jujitsu is fine, but like cardio is something that I've just been like, why? Where has that gone? Why is that the thing that's just completely disappeared?
Right.
It's only been a month, but I feel like my cardio is like, and maybe it's psychology. Maybe that's a big thing that's affecting my mind. Being like, I've had a month out, so I must be worse than I was. But I don't know, man. Like running, doing any sort of cardio in the class, like I can't roll as long as I could because I just get exhausted. You know.
To what
And-
extent do you think a little bit of time off kind of reverts you back to a spazzy white belt?
well, luckily I'm not like that.
You get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the more time you spend on the mat, the more relaxed you are, and you kind of flow through the movements. And then after a bit of time off, do you think you go back and like exert a bit more energy? because you're
Maybe.
rusty?
Yeah, maybe. That's actually a good point. Like, I think a week off is usually is fine. I think you're not going to come back and be spazzing out too much. But I felt like
I
after
dunno.
a month. Do you think?
No,
Oh,
guys,
only
you
a
better-
week?
You better get to class. You better. Only £5 a session, so 3 times a week.
Yeah, no, I think maybe it's just the month off, and obviously the nature of being off was like medical as well. So maybe I
Yeah.
feel a bit like, oh, have I been affected by that? Even though it's stupid that obviously I haven't, but coming back has been difficult. So I kind of, in a weird way, not like, oh, I get where those people who are like, oh, January is where I'm going to start, but I do get perhaps how easy it is maybe to fail in that, because it
Yeah.
is hard if you've not done it. I've taken a month off and I feel a bit shit. If you've never done it and then you come in and try and do it immediately, because that's the thing I think people do. They start January with all these changes, like, oh, I'm going to change my diet,
Yeah.
I'm going to change my training schedule, and then when they fail it once,
Not
it's like,
gonna
oh, I'm
change
done.
shit.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to change everything all at once. That's and you're going to
struggle.
fail as well. It's going to happen, and it's not the end of the world. I think a lot of people give up after they fail once.
Who was it who said, "I haven't failed. I've just found 100 ways that won't work"?
That's a famous
that-
quote, isn't it? Who is?
Isn't it?
Oh, that's going to annoy me now. We're going to have to subtly check our fact checker thing.
Mate, that's what I'm doing. I was like, Ian, you keep talking.
Okay, yeah. So everything's good. Yeah, but it's been good. It's been good to get back.
Thomas Edison.
Oh,
Thomas
really?
Edison.
There you go.
What do you mean?
There you
Oh,
go.
really? Who are you expecting? Is that not good enough
Thomas,
for you?
Thomas Edison. He's a bit of a knob. I'm not going to lie. He just stole a lot of people's ideas.
I don't know enough about that to have an opinion, but I did hear that a lot of people don't think it was him who invented the bulb, right?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
I don't know, mate. I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to get involved. I don't have an opinion on that. Like,
He was, what I would say is, he was a very good businessman. He was the Steve Jobs of his day. It wasn't that people.
see, I don't know enough about Steve Jobs either, so
He stole a lot of people's ideas basically and remarketed them. Like the iPhone wasn't a original idea, like
do
smart.
you know this for a fact, or is this liable?
No, it's definitely a
Okay,
fact. He
probably
didn't design.
saying
Like, of
anything
course of course he designed some bits of the iPhone, but the branding of the iPhone is what made it unique. Like
Sure.
smartphones existed before the iPhone. It's just he rebranded them and created Apple as a huge product. I'm not slagging him off. It's good business.
Sounds
smart.
like it.
It does a little bit, doesn't it?
Definitely sounds like you are.
Yeah, it does a little bit, doesn't it? That I'm going, yeah, he just stole some ideas, No, it's good branding.
Fuck
It's
John
good
Jones
business.
and fuck Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
They're the two people.
and Thomas
We can't-
Edison, get him in there
and
as
Thomas Edison. Fuck Thomas Edison.
well. Yeah, those three. We hate those three
I
people.
feel like I don't know. I
Mhm.
feel like that's in bad taste.
Maybe. I mean, two of those three people are dead, and one of them beats his
Yeah.
wife. Well, allegedly beat his wife.
Jesus. Allegedly. Yeah, make sure you say allegedly, please.
He accepted a plea deal. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. So to not serve any time for what happened, he accepted like a plea bill with the state of Las Vegas, which
Mad.
kind of is accepting what he did. Because
Yeah,
if
of
you do
course,
that,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's like an admission of guilt.
Mate,
So you're accepting that you did do
mate.
something wrong.
Well, okay.
So it's not really liable anymore. He kind of just did do that.
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah, you're just reporting. Okay, right. I don't enjoy that, man. So
No, I don't either. There's nothing
no.
funny there either. So we'll move on.
On another note, I
Yeah,
went climbing today. I haven't been
nice.
climbing before. Well, bouldering, not climbing. I think climbing you're supposed to use like a rope, and bouldering is just like free climbing, right? No
Yeah,
ropes,
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
crash mats. So I went bouldering today with my friend Simeon.
Nice.
Today I was more aware than I have ever been of how heavy I am.
Damn.
Yeah, so I didn't think I was particularly heavy, but I
Mm.
learned today that I am. That's yes, hard, man. Like we were doing different ones, and he was like, "Oh, we'll do some yellow roots and some blue roots," and I'm thinking like, "Oh, these are tricky." Like, and then you
Mm.
look at the table of the different colors and what they mean, and like that's right at the beginning, and I was
Yeah,
really
yeah,
struggling, and there's so many levels after that.
yeah. Are
So yeah,
we?
my hands are hurting.
I was about to ask that because there's a bouldering place near the team in London, which I've only
Yeah.
ever been to. I think twice. Really fun. I enjoyed it, but I probably wouldn't go all the time. Although I hear it's really, really good for doing grip strength. I was going to ask, how are your hands after, like your grips? How you feel with that? Because my hands after I did it was sore. They were real sore.
So I think I have arthritis anyway. I haven't had it
Mm.
properly looked at, but more often than not, when I wake up in the morning, I do struggle to like squeeze my fists. Like I
Oh
can't.
damn.
My grip strength first thing in the morning is
Mm.
atrocious, and like my fingers feel very stiff. Like I need to bend and crack them and stretch them, and apparently that's a sign of arthritis. There's different, right? I don't know enough about it, and I don't want anyone
Mm.
giving me shit. Apparently, there's different kinds of arthritis, and that one's not a very serious one, but you can experience it young and it gets worse later. That's fine.
Right.
But so I was really aware of that, like much sooner, because my grip strength is pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, when you're training in the gym, deadlifts and rows, doing back day and everything, I don't use
Yeah.
wraps or anything. My grip's pretty decent, but wow, I really felt that like in my knuckles and my fingers today, and it to the point where even just after like 10, 15 minutes of climbing, like it
Mm.
was painful to just to move my fingers, like to straighten them or to bend them. But everything
Yeah.
else is fine. Like I didn't experience like my back is fine, my forearms are fine, everything
Mm-hmm.
else is fine. Literally just my fingers are
Yeah.
absolutely gone.
Well, yeah. Well, grips what I felt the most when I did it as well.
Yeah.
So, but
Did you get forearm pain doing it?
yeah, a bit of forearm and grip.
Yeah, I didn't
Like,
get any forearm, only my fingers.
yeah. Do you know? I mean, I know you said you don't know much about the arthritis, but do you know if there's any like direct cause of it, or is it just like something that happens?
Sorry, no, I don't know. I
No,
have
that's
no
fair.
idea.
No, it's
Is it
fair. Like,
rheumatoid arthritis, maybe?
yeah,
Rheumatoid?
yeah. I don't know enough about it either. Really, that's what I was wondering. But yeah, no, it's interesting that, and it's I guess doing bouldering will exacerbate that sort of pain then, because it is massively grip. I felt it a lot when I was doing it. I mean, it is a lot of fun, and you're totally right. When you look at the ones that you're doing, you're like, God, Jesus Christ! And you look at them right at the beginning, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, there's so many harder ones coming up. But it is a lot of fun. Do you think you'll try and do it more regularly, or just
No. Because it was well, it was
no?
fine. It was fun. I had a good time, but
Mm,
then okay, done that. Like, why would I do that tomorrow? Like, I don't know. I don't see. Like personally, again, I could get hate for this. Like climbing's cool, yeah, whatever. But to me personally, I just don't see the value in it. Like,
mm,
I go again tomorrow, and I don't know, climb another wall. Like, I get that you can see your progress, but I managed to do a route on this color, and that's a harder color. Or okay,
mm.
but I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's the same way I
No,
look at
I get what
football.
you mean.
It's the same way I look at football. It's like that's cool. Like you put the ball in there. You know
Mm,
what I mean? And other than that, okay, what did you achieve? You know what I mean? It's just something that's been invented for you to have a good time.
yeah.
Um, that sounds. I'm very much struggling to put into words how I feel about this. Like, so I'm not a runner, but I totally understand the value of running, because if
Yeah.
someone tried to attack you, you could run away, or
Yeah.
if you had to get something from somewhere to somewhere else, you could get it there quite quickly. Fighting, obviously,
Hmm.
I think is like the most base human physical interaction, isn't it? Like
Hmm.
between men. Like at the end of the day, who was it who said at the end of every negative altercation between men, there's the threat of violence, isn't there? So
Mm.
if you were having an argument with a guy, both of you could keep raising the bar, but then eventually the end is violence. So it sounds harsh, but if you were having an argument with someone who you knew you could beat in a fight, in theory you would always win the argument because you could keep raising the stakes until the end result was a fight. So so to me that makes sense. Being really strong makes sense. I don't know, but climbing I don't really get, or like tennis or football, it's like, okay,
that's fair enough. I mean,
like,
I kind of get what you mean with bouldering. I enjoyed it when I went, but I would never do it. Like, there's people, you can get a membership at the place that you can boulder in London, and membership wasn't cheap. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it was definitely over 50 quid.
Yeah,
which I was kind of like, for that amount of money,
made me want to own a climbing wall. I'll tell you that. What a scam! Nothing.
Yeah. It's easy money. That just well, I'm sure it's harder, but
I know they got a set routes and everything. They change it like every week. And they change them.
But I kind of was like, for that amount of money, because that's kind of similar to what I'm paying for jiu-jitsu, and I kind of was like, I get what you mean with the functionality. Because again, perhaps we will get some hate for this, because I know people who do like doing bouldering who probably will listen to this, and I respect that. If you enjoy bouldering, that's great. It's like, I like watching football, and I like watching rugby, or I like watching,
Too right. Yeah, that's not what I meant. I just meant for me personally. I'm not going to pursue that because I don't feel like it has a practical
application. I've played other sports, but I've found jiu-jitsu or martial arts generally is the one that I've enjoyed the most. But I respect people who want to do that. It's just for me, the bouldering more than any, because I've done it and I've gone with friends. For me, it was like, maybe it'd be more exciting if it was outdoors. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll be a bit more excited by it because there would be a reason to boulder.
When the risk of death is far greater.
I like the high level risk.
I want to know that today could be my last day.
Yeah, that's how I like to do all my sports. I could die.
I want to tell my family I love them before I go bouldering.
With a real life that I may not come back. That's what I want to do. But when I do it in a room where I'm just going up to the ceiling and coming back down, and then going to another room where there might be a little bit harder to get up to that ceiling and then come back down. Although it was fun, I was having fun because there was people there who I got on with and chatted with as I was doing it. Whereas if I was doing that by myself in that room, I'd be really bored. I'd be like, so.
But
bored.
The same can be said about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, and that's
by yourself.
True. If anybody is listening, going like, we're chatting complete shit, cool. That come on and tell us.
Probably,
that we are chatting
almost
shit.
Definitely.
Yeah, almost. Come on and tell us why it's great. But also, if you hate jiu-jitsu, why are you listening to this podcast? It's weird that you're listening to this.
I want to half redact my statement comparing climbing to football and tennis, because that's nonsense. Because climbing does have some real application of trying to get up something. If you get a kite stuck in a tree, or you just really want to see the view from the cliff.
It makes me feel like you've lost a kite in a tree.
If you fell off a cliff, like, oh, whoops, and you didn't die, and then better get back up there. Yeah. And there wasn't a route to walk, then yes. So yeah, it does. Whereas football is never. I don't see how that's ever going to help you in your life.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's good for fitness, but beyond that, sorry, don't know.
Mate, the way you said about the kite in the tree is like you lost a kite in a tree, and that's haunted you.
I've never lost a kite in a tree, but I feel like it's a classic cartoon or movie issue, like Cat in a Tree for the fireman. I don't think I've ever seen a cat stuck. Like, cats don't get stuck.
No,
I don't even think cats are real. Like, you know how right? Did you know this? An octopus can fit through any gap that it can get its beak through.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't know that. I think
that's quite similar with cats. I think if a cat, I don't know. I don't know which part of the cat to use. I think if a cat can get its head somewhere, the rest of it's going. And I think I just can't picture a cat getting stuck in a tree. I think that's bollocks. I think a cat can get anywhere.
Just so I get it right, though, your statement of I don't think cats are real. That you said that a second ago. You mean that? What do you mean by the cats are? Because I've had cats, and we saw. I was going to say my cat's never got.
Did you
stuck
ever
in a
cut
tree.
one open?
No.
What was in? I see. I'm not sure. It's like a real organism inside. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think they're of this world.
You.
There's some secrets. All I'm saying. Look, I don't have the answers. I've just got questions.
Cats have some
I
secrets.
don't
they're
have
not
answers.
telling.
I have questions. Okay. How?
What
How
I
do
was
they
going
land
to
on their
say.
feet?
What I was going to say is my cats never got trapped in a tree.
Of course they
I'm-
didn't. They're cats. They can get anywhere. They got up
Yeah,
the
they
tree,
can get
out
anywhere.
the tree.
But-
If you threw a cat out your window, it'd be fine. For whatever reason,
you
it
know
would land
what?
on its feet and run away.
Do you know what actually happened once? My cat
Don't-
Basil.
You didn't throw
He-
it out the window.
No, we got
Basil,
in.
okay.
We
Good name for a fox,
Yeah.
but okay.
Basil.
Was he ginger?
No, it was a
You
tabby
fuck
cat.
this. You fuck this, mate. Go on then.
So we had a window. This maybe adds to your conspiracy theory about cats. This story about my cat, but we had those windows that open. Not like what's the
I
word?
don't know. My windows don't open.
But the
one.
ones that
How do they
open horizontally, not vertically, like just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it opened a little bit, and we had it just like
How much
on
is a
lap.
little bit? That's
Like
ambiguous.
enough
Is it
that you.
cat-sized?
Well, this is the thing. Enough that you could put your hand through, but not your
Not
like
a fist. An
Yeah,
outstretched
not-
hand.
exactly an outstretched
Okay.
hand. The fist would be
Ooh.
too big. And Basil was
Usually is.
able. We were walking in from I'd been picked up from school, and I remember looking up, and Basil had managed to get his head through that gap and had
Mhm.
slid his entire body through and
Yep.
jumped out the window, landed on his feet, and just trotted off.
Basil was just like a normal sized cat.
Yeah, just a normal
Any other
size.
cat that you would see.
Yep. He wasn't that fat. He wasn't really thin. He was just an average cat, like just bang on average.
Telling you, that's not right. Something's off.
He slid right through the gap, mate. It was weird. It's like cats can almost dissolve their bones briefly so they can get through gaps.
Yeah.
Do you think do you know when people go aliens are among us? Do you think it's cats? It's actually them.
That's a thing though, isn't it? That's a real thing that people have said
Yeah, people think that. Yeah.
about
Yeah,
cats and lizards.
Well, they're lizards. They say there's
I'm
lizard
sure that's
people.
a thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
lizard people, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. They say they're lizard people. Like Futurama have made a joke about cats being from another planet, and that's why the Egyptians praised them because they arrived here from another planet. And that's a good episode of Futurama. But yeah, lizard people is a thing that people believe in. I'm fairly certain that I saw a conspiracy theory that the Queen's a lizard person.
Oh, yes. So we played what's it called? There's this series of board games made by a company called Big Potato Games. Have you ever heard of them?
I haven't, but I'm looking it up as we speak.
Have you ever heard of a game
board
called Obama Llama? That's probably the most famous one.
Vaguely, yeah. Let's have a look.
They make really good games. And the game we were playing, it was called I can't remember what it was called, but basically it was things people search on the internet, and it would give you the start of a search, and then you had to pick what you think people generally searched for. So, for example,
cool.
it'd say, is the Queen or is the royal family? I can't remember. It's is the Queen,
That's
I think.
Good
you
game.
And then you had to guess what people searched, and one of the top ones was a lizard, and then I was really happy I knew. I was like, I put that, a lizard.
Yes.
Lizard.
That's a great game.
It was
That's
a really
actually
good
a really good game.
It gets quite funny and quite dark as well. Like one of them was like, what is so wrong about? And you had to guess what most people searched, what is so wrong about. It was very funny.
That's a really good game. That I think I'm going to look that up and get that myself because I
enjoyed it.
We had a game at Christmas called Blockbusters where you have to do name a film with "the" in the title, and you went round until somebody couldn't think of one, and there's a buzzer, and you if you have 30 seconds. If you can't think of one, you're out, and then you keep going round and round. And you know what? When you're on the hotspot trying to think of something for a film,
it makes it so much
so much harder. So that is great. I'd love to play that. So what's that one called?
Mate, I don't know, unfortunately. When we finish this, I can go and get it. And
yeah, no worries, man. No worries. But that is a great game.
Sorry, fuck you.
You'll never
games.
You'll never know. You'll never know
games
what that
with Hang on. Weird things humans search for. There you go. Weird things humans
things.
search for. That's funny.
I'm getting this. I'm getting this.
Get it. Do it. It's
Weird
like
things. Tell you what, that itself is a one. I'm typing it in. It's weird things that are illegal.
right. Okay.
Why is that the top
think-
one?
That was one of them. Is it illegal too? That was one of the ones we did.
Yes, brilliant. You'll search for brilliant.
That was fun.
Yes, I'm getting
Anyway,
that.
if
That
you
is
don't want to
such-
listen to us, just Google things.
No,
Have we
true.
talked about martial arts yet at all? Have we talked about?
No, we talked about
You
conspiracy
briefly
theories
mentioned, yeah.
with cats.
Should we do maybe a question? Any questions that we've been
Yeah, go
asked?
ahead, man. Let's jump into one. We are technically about
So-
martial arts, but
Obviously, people have brought up to me the pay-per-view prices.
oh yeah,
UFC
shit.
pay-per-view prices.
What the fuck, man?
Mate, they're asking for people to stream.
Yeah,
You're just asking for it. What are you
Mental.
doing? If you don't want people
Mental.
to stream, make it a bit cheaper so it's not worth it. Like,
yeah.
pre Netflix, did we all not used to just go on Putlocker and watch films?
Yeah, all the time, man.
And now it's just like, look, it's only like a tenner. Or, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
it's even
not
cheaper
much.
than that now, man.
It's not. It's like a
It's-
fiver or whatever it is. It's worth it. It's worth not going through the hassle of trying to stream something on Putlocker.
Oh,
Do you know what I
mate,
mean?
the
But they
pain
keep
in the
making it
arse of it.
dearer.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
same way that almost everyone has Netflix, don't they? Who don't have
Yep.
Netflix?
I
Right.
don't know anybody.
A lot of people, close to everyone, has Amazon Prime.
Yep, I've got Amazon.
No
Prime.
cunt has Now TV.
No, nobody, mate. If you've got Now
A handful
TV,
of
you're
people.
fucking
It's-
stupid.
Because it's so expensive. Because
Yeah.
they've separated entertainment, movies, sports, and all that. It's all different, and it's all
Yeah.
like 15 quid a head.
It's
No one's
ridiculous.
paying that Now TV. Right, Now TV.
Mm.
Fuck you. No one's paying that. If you want people to use your services,
Do it as one.
you need to do it as one and make
Yeah.
it cheaper. Like Netflix.
I had Now TV for a free trial because they had Justice League on there.
Yep, and that's it. After the
That
free
was it.
trial, see you later, mate.
I only wanted it for that film, and fuck me, man. Like the options you have to go through just to get the free trial.
Yeah.
Do you want the free trial for sport? Do you want the free trial for films? Do you want the free trial for
course, dude.
TV? I'm like, fucking hell. Just do it as one service. I don't need all of those options. But yeah, I completely agree with you, man. Like, if you want to make money, because not only do they do the UFC sort of like pass that you pay for. What is it they have? It's like they have a sort of streaming service which has old fights on, don't they? That you pay for.
Yeah.
But then you have to pay for the pay-per-view on top of
I-
that.
It's ridiculous.
It should just be included.
Even when UFC, when I was watching it on BT Sport,
Hmm.
I had a BT Sport subscription, and then every now and again they would have an event that wasn't included with your BT Sport subscription, and I was like, "Get fucked!" You have to
Yeah.
go to BT box office and buy it again,
No.
mate. Anyway, this isn't martial arts related, but I find it quite funny.
Hmm.
So my other complaint about Now TV is that
Let's go back to Now TV.
Yeah.
This episode's you slagging off Now TV.
I downloaded it because I really wanted to watch Adventure Time. Right?
Love Adventure Time.
Love Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Thank you, right, for being with me on that. A lot of
So
people
good.
might not know what it is and
It's so
probably wouldn't
good.
like to watch it, but I love it.
I
got
mean,
Now
if anybody's
TV.
listening, watch it. It's fucking amazing.
So there's a lot of good stuff on Now TV, but I
Mm.
exclusively got it to watch Adventure Time. So I went on there and searched Adventure Time, and it didn't just pop up like, oh, watch Adventure Time. It took me to a whole separate children's version of Now TV that I had to use to watch Adventure Time. I was like, why are you shaming me? Like on Netflix, all of the kids shows and adult shows are all just there,
Together.
right?
Yeah.
There's a kids option where it
Yeah.
takes away the adult stuff, but you
Mhm.
don't have to go into there to watch kids stuff. Whereas on Now TV, it was just like, oh, you must be a child. Like, here's some bright colors and nonsense. And then I was watching it, and all the episodes were out of order.
Oh, fuck off, really?
I know. Yeah, it was playing it all backwards in different orders, and it weren't making any. I mean, it doesn't make sense anyway, but it weren't making any sense. And I had to message them, and I was like, right, how are we going to play this? Shall I pretend I have a child, or nah? I didn't say anything. I kept it ambiguous, and I just told him it was all out of order. And I'm like, are they just getting away with it because kids won't even fucking notice? Like,
That's so shit.
I don't
that's
know.
actually
so Now
shit.
TV, you're shit. Fuck you.
That's so shit.
Expensive. Your layout is bad. You made me feel bad about myself, and your shows are in the wrong order. So
That's crap.
There's
That's
three
actually
reasons
crap.
not
Yeah, no,
getting that
I
TV.
completely agree with you. That's shit. I would
Yeah.
be fuming. To be fair, most of what I would watch would be the cartoons, so I don't need
Yeah.
it to tell me I'm
if
a
you
child.
do get Now TV again, right?
Mm.
Mate, I said, are we going to talk about MMA? And then just nope.
Nope.
So
Mate,
if you do get Now
borderline a
TV again, there's a show called Eastbound and Down. Oh
Eastbound
my
and Down.
god, it's so funny. You know Danny McBride? Do you know him? He's from Hot Rod and that.
Yes.
And then Will Ferrell is in it. Matthew McConaughey randomly pops up in it. Craig
Nice.
Robinson has a significant part in it.
Got it.
Mate, it's very, very funny. It's really vulgar. It's very crude, but it's very good.
Awesome. I will add that to my list because
we
just finished watching Only Murderers in the Building, which is on Disney Plus. Really good. Totally recommend
Only
that.
Murderers in the Building.
Only Murderers in the Building.
So does that mean these characters are the only murderers in the building, or in this building there are only murderers?
In the building there is in the building there is maybe only murderers. So like the premise is they've made, interestingly enough, as we are on a podcast, the show is about them making a podcast about a murder that's happened in their building, and the three characters are obsessed with like criminal podcasts. And they think the person who's being killed or committed suicide is actually murdered, but it doesn't linger on that too much. It's more of a comedy about them trying to like prove it's a murder. It may not be, but it's really funny, and the way it's put together is really good. You know, Steve Martin, he was in Father of the Bride, and Cheaper by the Dozen.
I know that name. Oh yes, Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah. He's in it. It's got, I think Ariana Grande's in it. No, not Ariana Grande. Selena Gomez. Similar pop star singer. And it's really good. Sure. It's really good. What?
They're the same. They're
the same. Yeah, they're the same, mate. I've grown to that age where I've realized pop music just generic to me now.
Mate, right. I don't think I'll ever learn which one is Cardi B and which one is and which one is Nicki Minaj. Are they the same?
No, mate. If there's people who like their music, we will get hate for that one for sure.
Are they the same?
Nah, they hate each other. They apparently.
Do you think they're similar, or is that
they're very similar? They're very
similar, right?
Yeah, totally similar. Like their music.
I mean, come on! I'm looking at it now. They're the same. That's the same person.
Do you know who I just like is generic to me as hell? Like genuinely, I can't. Dua Lipa. She's just so generic to me. I don't have an
opinion on Dua Lipa. Let's have a look.
Just generic
in terms of like her look or her music or her
music, man. I don't really know what she looks like that well, barring like if I see her on Brit Award. But her music's just like her, Ariana Grande, like Selena Gomez. All of their music for me just blurs into each other. We sound so old. We sound like genuinely.
I only recognize one of Dua Lipa's songs, and it's because it's got DaBaby in it, and he's all right.
Yeah, generic. But yeah. So Only Murderers in the Building, I recommend. We've gone back to watch. Do you know Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Sure.
Yeah, rewatching that because Simone's never watched it, and it's amazing.
It's getting funny search results up as I look for things on here. Hang on. Okay.
And we're going to watch, is it Ted Lasso after that? That's like a big one that's like very popular.
Who are you asking?
You, I guess. I was.
What are we watching?
Am I watching that? Am I watching Ted Lasso?
Only Murders in the Building. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
It's good. It's good. Right. And Ted Lasso is going to be what's on our watch list next. But I will add Eastbound and Down. I've got it in front of me.
I think this might be the worst episode we've ever recorded. It's just us Googling stuff and giving each other recommendations.
Do you think?
This is bad. Really bad.
Do you think it's bad? We did talk about martial arts for a little bit. Do you think?
Mate, we did it. This is a bad episode.
I don't know.
We're just Googling stuff. Mate, we're just giving each other recommendations.
It's recommendations to the listeners as well.
Yeah, but also most people don't pay any mind to recommendations. I think a lot of people don't. Oh, you should watch this new show. Oh, yeah, nice one, really. Okay, and then they never do. I mean, maybe people just don't respect my recommendations. But I've often found it the way that I'll say to someone, "Oh, you should really watch this," and they go, "Oh, okay," and then I'll see them a week later. Did you watch it? No. Week later, did you watch it? No. And they never fucking watch it.
Oh, I don't know. I usually try and if somebody gives me a recommendation, I'll try and watch it. Like I'll genuinely go out.
Time on their hands as you, Ian.
Yeah, true. I barely do anything. I bet. But I don't think this was a terrible one, or is a terrible one. I think like people can go out and watch what we've said.
Let us know what you think. Anyone who's made it this far into this episode, please message and say, no, it was all right, or never do that again.
Yeah, this was. Or if you do think this was a terrible episode, let us know. Just be like, this was shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Either way, we'd like to know so that we know how to fix it for next time.
Yeah. But then, then back to the pay-per-view cost then, because that's where this spiraled into, because you hate Now TV.
Go on. No, don't go back there. Just
let's not
UFC,
stick on
focus.
Good boy. I think it is.
That's what I say to Reggie. Sorry, we're going off topic again. That's what I say to Reggie to get him to look at me and stop woofing or pulling or whatever. Focus. Okay, go on.
Focus. So I do think it is like a sign of it's ironic that you have people like who I really don't like him, but Jake Paul mouthing off to Dana White about fighters' pay, and Dana White defending the fact that they don't pay their fighters as much as say Bellator or One, and he's claiming they're hemorrhaging money, etc. But he's put up the pay-per-view cost, but where the only place I can see that money going is in their pockets other than anywhere else. It's not getting invested in things, is it? It's not getting invested in the fighters. Otherwise, they'd be paid more. And it really frustrates me that Jake Paul now is this person who's become very like... it's for his own brand. He's doing it for himself. But
I hate that I like his message.
Yes. I hate that I agree with him.
Fuck's sake, we got to be right about it. Like, I really desperately don't want to be on his side. No. Right, that's a question. Do you think he's doing harm to the cause because it's him? Like, he's not a good person to be an advocate for that. Because I've seen UFC fighters like responding to his tweets like, "Shut up, Jake, you fucking idiot." And it's like, you'd probably want to be paid more though, right?
Yeah, yeah. I saw like,
you just don't want to like him.
Yeah, it's Marvin Vettori was like, "I beat the shit out of you" and all this stuff. But I was kind of like, Marvin Vettori's probably not getting paid a massive amount. Like, he's probably not. I
can't imagine he is, no.
No. Like, but if he went to Bellator, I imagine he would. Because Marvin Vettori, even though we think he's a bit shit, not that I hate him or anything, but he's just not like a big pay-per-view draw.
He's probably shit, man.
Well, yeah, he's probably a big draw somewhere, right? He's probably a big draw for someone. And he'd get paid a lot in Bellator, I reckon. But at the UFC, he's not. And we can guarantee he's not paid as much as I think he's probably worth, even though we think he's an example of a fighter. I shouldn't say shit. That's not fair. What I mean is he's very good. He's very good.
He's only lost to Izzy, isn't he?
He has. I mean, he is a good fighter. What I mean by shit, and it's totally the wrong turn of phrase. What I meant to say is he's not a pay-per-view draw.
Yeah.
He's like the middle of the road line for me, where he's like, he's a name, but I doubt you're going to pay a pay-per-view.
Never watch a card because he was on it.
Exactly. But he's still worth more than I think the UFC are paying him. Even being that level, he's still worth more. Because he may not bring numbers in, but for somewhere, someone will be bringing him in. Like, for certain. Like, there will be fans of Marvin Vettori. And I hate that Jake Paul is the person that people are arguing with now, even though he's right. It's really fucking annoying. It's really annoying. And I agree with you. I do think he is maybe... Well, I don't know. I don't know how many fighters are going to look at what he says and go like, yeah, I'm going to now back Jake Paul. Because if you're a UFC fighter and you did start saying, yeah, he's totally right, do you think the UFC is going to give you any like big names to fight anymore?
Probably not.
Exactly. So maybe Marvin Vettori does agree with him, but at the same time, he wants more names to fight.
That makes it sound kind of sinister then, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Like you're trapped. It's like, oh, fuck off, Jake. Like, please help me.
do you know what? In a weird way, I think it is. Let me out. In a weird way, it is, because that's kind of the situation we've got. Like, if
Uncle Dana's basement.
Well, yeah, a bit. Because if you look at the situation we got coming up in I think 12 days, the first pay-per-view of this year is Ngannou versus Cyril Gane. And great fight, really interesting fight, former training partners. But the only reason Cyril Gane is an interim champion is because Francis Ngannou wanted to get paid more. That's the only reason. He wasn't injured. He wasn't like sidelined.
And he's a big draw now, isn't he? Everyone wants to see that.
Exactly.
That dude knock someone out.
Of course they do. And the fact that he's saying, I'm champion, I know I'm a pay-per-view draw and I should be getting money. He was like, well, no, we're going to get an interim champion. And it is sinister that the UFC are completely like devoid of, what's the word? Control, I guess, like an exterior control to be like, you can't do that. That they can just be like, yeah, no, we're doing an interim champion and fuck you, Francis.
Yeah.
You know? It's pretty bad. It is a bit sinister.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, let's leave it there. It's really bad. We don't know what to do about it.
And I hate myself for agreeing with Jake Paul.
New Year.
Yeah. Oh man, I do hate the fact I agree with Jake Paul. It is fucking shit.
Frustrating. It makes you want to change your beliefs.
I really hate him as well. I really hate Jake Paul. Like,
I tried to stay away from it. I don't have enough of an opinion because I don't watch him or anything he does. I haven't watched any of his fights. I haven't watched any of his YouTube. I don't pay any mind to anything he does. So So it helps me to not hate. I don't really hate him. He's just there. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean, and it actually is probably better to be like that because I know the Paul brothers enough. I don't watch their stuff, but I know them enough to be like they're not pleasant people. And I don't watch Jake Paul boxing. I hear he's relatively good, cool. You know, like I don't watch boxing anyway, so why would I watch Jake Paul?
Of course.
I find it frustrating, I guess, that this person has this platform that, again, he's shouting things I agree with
that he doesn't deserve. Yeah,
exactly. Totally what I was about to say, and it's it is a bit like, oh, fuck's sake. Wow, this episode's a real downer, isn't it? Jesus, we got
Cats. A bad one. It's definitely a bad one.
No, I think we recovered it. I think this has been all right. We brought it back.
I think we should just cut our losses. And don't even know if I want to post this one. I think it's been bad. So, we're getting better with time.
Sorry, you go cut our losses.
Happy New Year.
Are we finishing? Is this one over?
I don't know. I guess so. I think this episode's been a train wreck.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think it's been okay.
I've enjoyed talking to you, but that's because I know you and you're my friend. If you weren't, I'd just be like, what the fuck am I listening to? Just fucking noise. Like have you ever been...
That's most podcasts.
Disagree. Have you ever just been in a room, like a random room, like a waiting room or something with a stranger and they're on their phone and you're just like, that's really annoying just being able to hear that person.
I have.
I think that's what's happening. Like, obviously, I'm part of this conversation and you're my friend, so it's fine for me. But I think other people will just be like, this is absolute... like, when is this going to end? Oh, good, I can press end. Like,
I'm okay, fair play. I find most podcasts are just people chatting. They're like the best ones.
About things that you signed up for. Like, when you go to listen to the Always Sunny podcast, like...
Yeah. Come on. No, they talk about all kinds of shit, man.
They do, but part of it is they sort of act their characters, and it's nice to hear. It keeps the show going. And like with rewatch shows, that's what you're getting. With that movie one that you do, like you're talking about the movie. To be fair, we don't say what we're going to talk about. We just talk about whatever the fuck we want. But the name implies we're going to talk about martial arts, and then we just more often than not just absolutely do not. Like, I don't care what you want.
If there's ever like clips to try and entice people in, that should be your sort of like blurb. That is the blurb for this podcast. You think it's going to be about martial arts, but it's not.
And it rarely is. Every now and again, we make occasional martial arts references.
Yeah. But I think I think that's the thing, though, isn't it? We're kind of sorting.
We give them what they want.
We kind of this is now the bit that I'm like, this has descended into not being good because we're talking.
This is more entertaining to listen to than then,
But this is
like,
us trying
hang
to
on, let
figure
me
out
just-
what the
hang
podcast
on.
is about.
Like, let me just Google the name of that movie. I swear it was good. Okay, you want this movie you want to watch? Yeah, I don't have Now TV. I got Netflix. I had Now TV, but I got rid of Now TV because it was a bit expensive. I don't think people want to hear that. I think this is better.
Okay, that's a fair point. I didn't think about us saying
It was so bad. It was
But-
so bad.
but us trying to figure out what the podcast
You
is.
say, went climbing, it's a bit hard, fingers are sore. Yeah, my fingers were sore when I went climbing. Fucking hell. It's embarrassing.
I was trying to figure out what the podcast is about. Is maybe not. Maybe it's
Ooh.
only a little bit better.
I don't know.
But we're filling a void. I think because if we do a martial arts podcast, like I'm sure there's ones that exist already, and they're like
You know which void we're filling? You know, like, have you ever like got up on the counter in your kitchen, up to the units that are nearer the ceiling, and if you like reach down the back, there's like a gap down the back. You never knew it was there, and it was really dirty. That's the void we're filling. Like, no one would know that we've filled that void, and no one needed it filled. No one was asking.
but we're
like,
here now.
I'm more than happy for that gap down the back of my kitchen cabinets to be there. I'm definitely not going to go looking for the gap down the back of my kitchen cabinet. If there was something good in there, I'd probably just leave it because it's dirty now. That's the void we're filling. I
but
think
we filled it, and we're serving a
unnecessary.
purpose.
Not visible in the kitchen.
And we're serving a purpose, and I'm proud of that.
Okay. I mean, I'm happy to keep doing this. I'm having a good time. We'll see if the listens reflect the time that we're having.
Maybe we need to. Maybe each episode should be us trying different like
Styles.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to game of the week.
Yeah,
This
yeah. Each week should be like a different thing. So next week it should maybe be like a quiz show. Then the week
Okay.
after that.
Let's take our first caller. Oh yeah, we didn't set this up.
we didn't put enough work
No one
into
knew we
this.
had callers. Okay,
And then the week after that, we could do like a book club format where we like.
just it better be a good book if it's the only episode we're doing on a book.
And we'll
Or
see
we
which
just read
one sticks.
different. We just read different books. Well, I read this. Oh, well, I read this. Okay. Finished.
Finish. And then we'll find out
No.
which format's the best one. I think
Okay,
that's
cool.
how this is going to go forward.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, let's do that. We need some sort of structure.
Well, maybe, yeah. We'll figure it out. Any listeners who have an idea of a structure, let us know.
Yeah. Thank you and good night.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to finish.
Yeah, I've been close to just cutting this a few times, just pressing stop and just cutting our losses.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's the name of this one as well.
I've been close to stopping it.
No, cutting our losses.
Cutting our losses. Okay. Cut and run.
Cut and run. Okay, cool. Well, that was a nice one.
It was.
Thanks,
Okay,
everybody.
See you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Combat Casuals podcast.
To get involved with the Ultimate Fighting conversation, email us at combatcasuals@outlook.com,
We can answer your questions in our next podcast.
or maybe even have you on the show.
Be sure to follow, subscribe, leave us a review, or support us however you can.
Thank you to Me Against the World for our theme music.
Catch you next time.